Hello foodies! Let me show you my homemade protein biscuits that I love bringing to the gym instead of a store-bought protein bars. They're super tasty, super healthy, very easy to make in batches for the whole week and way cheaper than regular store-bought protein bars. You probably already know that chocolate and raspberry is hands down my favorite sweet combo, and the pistachio paste here, well, it adds that luxurious Dubai-style chocolate vibes, but without messing up your calories, your macros and goals at the gym. So let's get into it. For the low-calorie sponge, we'll be using my flourless high-protein chocolate roll recipe. If you haven't tried it, please, it's really good. It's got about 90 grams of protein and less than 500 calories for the whole thing. So you can eat the entire cake and still stay in your calorie limit for a day. So we will use this cake as our base today. Firstly, I'll add 60 to 80 grams of a sweetener. It depends on the sweetness of your sugar substitute. I'm using, as always, a blend of erythritol and allulose for like natural sweet flavor without any artificial aftertaste, without cooling effects from erythritol. We'll add 10 grams of a starch, but if you're against using starches in your diet, you can use any kind of your flours or flour alternatives, but for me starch gives that best texture, and it's such a small amount of it in this recipe, so it doesn't mess the macros at all, so I feel absolutely okay using it. Next, I'll add 10 grams of dark cocoa powder for baking. Pick one that's rich in color and in aroma. The one that I'm using today is a French one. It's really good. I will leave all the links to all the products, all the powders, the proteins, the fibers, everything will be linked in the description down below under this video. And links to the other video recipes that I mentioned today will be also there down below. And please guys, don't forget to like, subscribe and leave me some comment. You know, I'm naturally a very shy person and I feel a little bit ashamed of kind of asking you to like, asking you to leave me a comment. I think that if my channel is good, if my content is good, people will let me know, and you're letting me such a sweet comments. But as I've read recently that I need to encourage you to do that. So yes, if you do have spare fingers and spare moment, please drop me a comment and subscribe to this channel and give me a like. I will be very appreciative. I'm sorry, I think I'm blushing. Let's return to the recipe. Next, we'll add half a teaspoon of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of vanilla sugar. Next, crack 2 eggs. We will separate the whites and the yolks will add to the dry ingredients. Well, mix everything well. It should look like a rich chocolate brownie batter. In total, we need 4 egg whites, and I already have 2 egg whites from the whole eggs, so I'm adding 2 more whites. You can use the liquid egg whites from the bottles, or you can use powdered egg whites. They are pasteurized and sometimes they're called albumin powder. If you're into baking things, you know this thing. It's a really good alternative when your recipes required only whites and you don't know what to do with the extra yolk, especially considering egg prices these days. This is kind of a smart thing to have albumin powder in your pantry. So if you go with powdered egg whites, use 10 grams of a powder and 60 milliliters of water. So next, according to the instructions, you should kind of let the powdered egg whites sit for a little bit, absorb the moisture. Honestly, I never wait any minute, I just stop whipping it right away. It foams perfectly during whipping, no clumps, nothing at all. So stop whipping straight away, it always works. Start at the low speed, and when you see the first yellowish bubbles forming on the surface of your whites, then increase to high and whip until it gets stiff, kind of glossy peaks. When you see that peaks are not holding its shapes and kind of moving a little bit when you try to spoon them, it's not ready yet. So you should be able to flip the ball upside down without the peaks moving. Next, we will gently fold the egg whites into our chocolate mixture. I always start by adding a little bit of egg white to kind of loosen the batter first. It makes it easier to fold in the rest without deflating the foam. Next, spread the final batter onto a silicone mat. And bake for 15 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. It's 355 degrees Fahrenheit, if I'm not wrong. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments. It's extremely hard for me to calculate the Fahrenheit while I'm talking to you and filming this video, but I'm learning. I think I'm getting better with them. The third step is making our protein pistachio filling, my favorite part. When our sponge cake is ready, we will transfer them from the oven and flip it to some surface and set aside to cool for maybe 10 to 15 minutes, so it needs to be completely chilled. Just don't forget to remove our silicone mat or your baking sheets. So while the sponge is cooling, let's make the filling. In a bowl, let's mix 45 grams of whey protein and 45 grams of casein. I highly recommend you using both whey protein concentrate or isolate, and micellar casein or any other casein. It gives you better texture, greater satiety, and since casein digests more slowly, it will keep you full for a longer period of time. And I love taking them before my gym or straight after my gym. They are way filling for me if I will make them with both casein and protein. And I always use unflavored proteins, both proteins and caseins, so I can make my savory snacks like my protein Doritos. If you haven't tried them yet, please do. I think it's the best protein chips recipe that I found on the internet. Well, I didn't find it. I've been searching for it. I've spent hundreds of dollars just wasting the products while trying to recreate some other recipes, but they just didn't work for me. They're less crunchy, less protein, way more carbs or something like that. The macros were off, the texture were off, them will not like a little bit, all of them were a little bit more rubbery. So I tried to kind of experiment, recreate everything by myself, mix some ingredients, spent hundreds more of dollars just to spend on a product. I turned my kitchen into a lab, and finally I made the recipe that I'm very proud. I make them every other week. I think it's the perfect dish for any other savory snacks to crunch away with your TV shows. So for me, it's the best alternative. So if you haven't tried them as well, please check them. So yeah, that's why my proteins are kind of always unflavored, so I can use them in both sweet and savory dishes. And next we'll add our magic ingredient, fiber. I'm using soluble corn fiber. It helps great with the texture, and also it extends and improves the shelf life of your goods. I like to make them during the weekend so I can eat them during the week to take with me to the gym, to work, to give it to my husband. And it doesn't cause bloating, swelling situation or blood sugar spikes like any other fibers that can do sometimes. So this one is a really good thing, and I use it a lot in my protein-based recipes. Next, we will sweeten everything to taste. I use about 60 grams of allulose, but if you want something sweeter, drop maybe 1 or 2 drops of intense liquid sweetener. So those of you who is not new to my channel, you probably noticed that these exact ingredients and measurements I use to create my peanut protein bars. I love them a lot. So today, to give you something interesting, we are using pistachio paste because, well, it's delicious and it's nutrient dense. I love it a lot. So we will add it here and mix everything well. Then I will add about 10 to 15 milliliters of water. I will be adding it gradually, 1 spoonful at a time, to get a creamy and quite thick spread. It's really important because when working with the proteins without any flour at all, when working with soluble fibers, it's very easy to overdo the water and you will end up with your filling to be a little bit too runny. It will just leak from the biscuit layers and it will be kind of hard thing to grab and eat on a go. So check the water, don't overdo it. Just 1 spoon, mix everything, add another spoon, mix everything, and you will see. So the final step, let's assemble everything. So once the sponge is baked, cooled, flipped over, we will slice it in half and I will spread our pistachio protein cream. It's very delicious, it smells delicious. We will spread it on 1/2. Now we will sprinkle generously with freeze-dried raspberries or just dried raspberries. I skimmed a bit in this video because I was running out and I didn't want to go to the store, but don't be like me, be generous with raspberries because they are really good. They are the star of this filling. So once we finished covering everything with raspberries, cover with the second sponge half and place it to the fridge for at least a couple of hours. You can leave it overnight like I do. We need everything to set, we need our sponge to soak the liquid, the excess liquid from our filling. So sponge becomes very soft, very gentle, exactly like Kinder Delice treat. I don't know about you, but my kid loves those things and sometimes I just make an exact same recipe but without protein powders and he loves it a lot. So once everything is done, it's been overnight for me, but it might be a couple of hours for you, just slice it into 10 bars for me. So yeah, for me it's like a real sweet treat with a great macros. And don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to check my playlist. I have this playlist that's based on the protein powders. I have other playlists that based on like natural sources of proteins like cottage cheese, meat, everything like that. I have lots of protein packed snacks based on the cottage cheese. Yeah, they're all low calorie, they are all macros friendly, so don't forget to check them as well. See you!